team, Katie here from Equestrian Movement, and today we are talking about, do you actually like hanging out with your horse? Do you play with your horse, or do you find your horse to just be a chore? One of the things that we cover in our holistic horse handling skills is how we are going to bring our horses relaxed energy up through games and through play. So we end up using a lot of pressure tools for performance for our ridden work, which requires a lot of focus and attention. But there is a transition that we need to go through from having a horse that is basically green and unhandled to the performance horse. And that process is learning how to learn. One of the best ways to teach our horses how to learn is through games, is to show them that we can communicate to them through our body language. And we can break down our shaping plan into how we're going to guide the behavior, how we're going to mark the behavior, and how we're going to motivate them to do it again. So we show up with them, for them, with this routine and this consistency, so that when it comes time to do our more high pressure training skills, they understand that there is a process of guiding, marking, and motivating, but also so that they have some emotional agility skills and some stress resilience skills. So one thing that we really don't take into consideration is that our horses struggle with learning. They're going to get frustrated when they don't know what the right answer is, when we stretch, the praise because we want to get a little bit more effort from them. They get frustrated, they get overwhelmed, they get anxious, they get performance anxiety, they get frustrated, they get, all sorts of things when we're trying to shape out the behavior that we want. So having some emotional agility skills to get them to keep seeking the answer and keep engaging in the exercise is part of the challenge of creating a good school horse, a good working horse. And so as you can see with April here, as we go to stretch the behavior to go from just touching the toy to holding it in her mouth, she gets frustrated because what was getting her treats is no longer getting her treats. We have this experience in the saddle. So if we are working on something and we're giving them praise for a certain behavior, and then we're ready to up the ask and do something a little bit more challenging, something that requires a little bit of extra effort, then our horses tend to show frustration and uncooperative body languages and behaviors in that stretch phase. And that's totally understandable and totally normal for them to do it. So if we can work on this emotional agility work on the ground first, we're showing them that they're still going to get the praise, they're still going to get the reward, they're still going to get the treat, but they have to just try on a new behavior. We can create the emotional agility skills for them to take themselves out of frustration, maybe give themselves a break or ask for a break if they need it, to kind of do a little reset, and then get them trying again for that extra stretch behavior that we're looking for. And you can see here she's trying to do some emotional self-regulation with her licking and chewing. She's getting agitated and frustrated because she's not getting the treat, and so we see some licking and chewing, we see the frustration. I think that if she could swear, she would be swearing at me right now to get the treat. And so we're just looking for little stretches as well. Like, how many of us, say for example, have a goal that we're trying to achieve, let's say canter, and we try and do our canter and ask for a full lap of the arena instead of just a transition. Like, we have to recognize that our stretch effort, our challenge effort, is just our horse's next best effort, not that full skip into that whole desired behavior that we're looking for, because especially with our ridden behaviors, it takes time for them to build the condition, and you can see how challenging it is even just mentally for them to understand what is being asked of them and how they can get frustrated if they aren't getting the answer correct. So the other thing is, you can see with the 3 horses that we've played with is that, you know, they all 3 of them have very different personality types. We've used the exact same shaping plan, the exact same lesson plan, but how each horse engages in it is really an expression of how different their personalities are. So learning through games is also beneficial for us getting to know each other with our horses in an environment that is a little bit more relaxed and fun and not so high performance. So we're going to have a look at another game just to see how fun the cueing work is when our horses are playing with us. So this is Nugget, and we're going to do our targeting the ball game. He has not targeted a ball before, but once the horses get the hang of it, this is one of their favorite exercises. The ball kind of becomes a treat dispenser. So we can do our hooking on work at liberty with targeting the ball without having to chase them around yard, without having to do join up, without having to chase them into submission. We can just ask them to follow us. We can ask them to follow us. We can give them an objective, which is to touch the ball. We're engaging their learning and their problem solving skills, so that again we're just showing them in different ways, how am I going to guide your behavior? Like, how I'm going to show you what I want you to do. What are you going to do that's going to be clear to mark that behavior? And then you're going to motivate them to do it again. So in these games, you know, we're using our treats as our motivator because it's something new for these horses. But as we go, they actually are motivated by the games itself because it's fun and we can play with each other. So let us know, how do you play with your horse? What games do you play? We'd love to hear. We're always on the lookout for new and fun ways to interact with our horse. That's all from me for today. Until next time, happy trails.